Today was a holiday, so I didn't plan on making a YouTube video. But I came across a video on YouTube that left me absolutely stunned. How can someone post such absurd nonsense on a platform where thousands, even millions of people are watching? And the comments are even more astonishing. People say this video expresses the mysteries of the universe as if it's groundbreaking. They debate the multiplications presented, yet no one really understands it. Let's take a look at a part of the original video. This gear can be called the infinite gear. The arguments and claims in the video itself are unbelievable, but the fact that no one points out the errors is even more disheartening. Let's use some common sense. The video claims to show a device that would require more energy than the universe to operate. One should instinctively recognize how absurd that is. I can't even imagine the mindset behind this reasoning. And yet, the comments seem to show that people genuinely believe it. The video's main argument and the majority of comments center around this. If you connect gears, each with teeth, then for the last gear to make one rotation, the first gear would have to rotate times. Since this count rises exponentially, at some point, the first gear would need to exceed the speed of light. And since infinite energy is required to reach light speed, the device is deemed impossible. This is ridiculous. Can you see the errors here? This interpretation is one of the more reasonable ones, yet few comments even reach this level. Disturbing indeed. Here's a simpler version. Suppose it takes energy to turn one gear. Naturally, each additional gear exponentially increases the energy required. Therefore, they conclude that for the final gear to rotate, the necessary energy would exceed the universe's total energy. Sure, with enough gears, the value could exceed all universal energy. It's frustrating to see the public misled by such nonsense. After checking the comments, I couldn't find anyone with a real grasp of the concept. As speeds approach the speed of light, we must first consider time dilation. The video claims that the first gear would need a universe's age to rotate the final gear. This is entirely wrong. We cannot say it's time of universe. That calculation is merely the result of simple multiplication. Time is relative concept. If one rotation takes 3 seconds and you have 100 gears, it would supposedly take times as long for the final gear. They claim this duration exceeds the universe's age. Wrong. Again, time is not absolute one. With increasing speed, time slows. An object with mass can't reach the speed of light, and as it approaches it, time approaches zero. The video focuses solely on the perspective of the first gear, but from the last gear's point of view, it's simply rotating at the same rate as the first gear. From that viewpoint, it just takes 3 seconds. That's relativity. The notion that time becomes infinite is simply a multiplication error, and this is an incorrect way to calculate it. This concept has already been proven through the decay rates of cosmic particles that reach Earth. Take a particle with a half-life of 1/1000 seconds. In 1 second, its mass should theoretically reduce to a figure even more astronomical than those mentioned in the video. However, in reality, the mass barely decreases. For us, it's 1 second, but for the particle, it's effectively no different from 0.001 seconds. This is the essence of relativity. It's been around for over a century. Calling it classical physics now wouldn't be an exaggeration. Seeing such nonsense after 100 years makes my head spin. Another example. Imagine a 300 million kilometer long rod attached to Earth. Since Earth completes one rotation per day, the tip of the rod would travel 300 million kilometers times in a day. This clearly exceeds the speed of light. Does this mean that if the rod were strong enough, an object at its tip could surpass the speed of light? If the logic of that video were correct, this would seem possible, right? The multiplication makes the result obvious. Completely incorrect. Relativity dictates that such calculations are invalid. Back in middle school, I wrote a paper titled Energy Transfer by an Observer and the Paradoxes of Relativity at a science enrichment program. Looking back, it was flawed. But at 15, the universe still held endless curiosity. I know that most scientific explanations on YouTube are incorrect, but it's astonishing that such videos reach millions of viewers and get thousands of likes and subscriptions. Even more surprising is that people are just re-uploading this video and getting millions of views without copyright issues, and in the comments, people are arguing, completely misguided. Friends, I'll explain relativity slowly for you. I want to be a channel you can trust among all the science channels in the world. Finally, let me challenge your intuition. If a gear takes 3.5 seconds to rotate once, Does adding more gears mean the last one would take longer than the age of the universe? What if a gear rotated in a picosecond? Couldn't it then turn in seconds? Does it even remotely make sense that this device would need more energy than the entire universe to operate?
The first rule of channel is subscribe channel. Second rule of channel is click like. This channel will make you smart.